Hi, my name is Ricky Miller, and today I'm going to be going over 3 common mistakes that people make when they run the 40-yard dash and how to properly correct them. So let's jump into the first stage of the 40-yard dash, which is going to be the stance. And for most people that are not skilled enough in the 40-yard dash, this is where most of the mistakes happen, the most common mistakes. And the key is to start off with a good space with your foot, with your feet. And so what I saw and what I kind of learned is if you start shoulder width, you're going to slide the foot that you want back. You're going to slide it from your toes to your heel and line it up. And then as you do that, you're going to rotate this foot out. And then wherever your toes land, that's where your foot's going to be. So you're going to rotate that as well. And then, so once you have your proper stance, both legs are going to be bent. So a common mistake that people do is they want to be comfortable when they're getting ready in their stance. So what they'll do is they'll put their leg too far back, and what ends up happening is you have a 90-degree angle on your back leg here. No, sorry, not 90. It's going to be linear. It's going to be 180 degrees, which there's no power. There's going to be no power in your back leg to push off for the acceleration. So easy fix is to move the feet closer, and then you're going to have this knee bent, and it's going to be in the 90-degree angle right here. And with that, that's going to help get the explosion that you need for the acceleration phase after getting out of your stance. So again, with the stance, when you get ready, so like I said, you're going to have a nice 90-degree angle with your back knee over here. And you're going to have a small base of support. That's why it's going to feel uncomfortable for most people, because you're going to feel like you're going to fall off balance, which is what you want. You want to have the feeling that you're going to fall forward. And so like say with this arm right here, if someone was to knock that arm, I should fall face down into the grass. So once you get into your stance, then you're ready for the next phase, which is going to be acceleration phase. The acceleration phase, the key with this one is you're going to take a large step when you're coming out of your stance, because you want to get as much ground as possible, as quickly as possible. Like common mistakes is someone coming out of their stance, they're going to rise up, so they're going to, as soon as they start running, they're going to lift their head up and start running. And with this, what you want to use your quadricep muscle group more. They're going to be your primary movers. When coming out of your stance for the acceleration phase, you want your quadricep muscle groups to be the primary movers for the acceleration phase. The problem with rising up out of your stance is you immediately eliminate the quadriceps and you go straight to the glutes and the hamstrings to be the primary movers, which we don't want till later on in our run when we start rising up to do our form running. So yeah, so you don't want to rise up, you want to stay nice and low, have a nice low form, and you want to be able to have where you have a large explosion coming out. Alright, so when the acceleration phase, this is how your first step, this is how you want to be, because as you see, like I gained from pretty much 5 yards just off the first step. So, and also you're gonna have your head down, and you're gonna keep that there for like a good, probably for the first 15 yards. You're gonna have your head down until you start to rise up and do your form running later on. But just for the acceleration phase, you want to activate the quadricep muscle group right here, as you can see, and then you want a nice linear angle coming from your heel to the back of your head. So it's nice and straight, so you got like that nice angle going forward, and like momentum and a lot of your weight on the front of your foot. So that way it's easier for you to get out of your stance. For the final stage of the 40-yard dash, it's going to be the form running aspect, where you're going to be standing straight up. And what you're going to do is you're going to have your elbows, they're going to be 90 degrees as they come as you wave your arms. And you don't want any extra movement. You want as little movement as possible, so you want to stay efficient with your form running. You don't want to be rotating. You don't want any type of rotation, really, unless it's like in the hips. Also, for those of you who your form running isn't up to par as you want it to be, a good exercise to do is just to do high knees. And also, when you're doing your running, you want to stay on the balls of your feet. You don't want to have your heels touch, because then it's going to slow you up when you're doing your 40-yard dash. So you want to stay on the balls of your feet. And a good exercise is a good exercise where you have your hands on the wall and you will switch you'll start with like one knee up, have your hands on the wall, and then you switch. But you gotta stay on the balls of your feet, so that's an exercise for you if you feel like you need to work on your form running. High knees, so this is what you want it to kind of look like. So it's gonna be like that, but you're gonna be more coming out when you're doing your actual run. So that would be just like an exercise to work on your form running. And then now I'm gonna show you kind of like all 3 stages together at once. Just like the skill-wise, going through my stance again, and then going through the acceleration, and then finishing off the run with efficient form running. All right, so there you go. That's how your 40-yard dash. That's how you want it to be. Nice, efficient, forward momentum, and going forward. Yeah. So there you go.